All right, we've set it up. Now come and check out the view. Of course, you need to add your voice, record your voice, and get everything sorted out. Let's go ahead and present it now. Look at the work coming together. First, it gives you an introduction about input units. I'm telling him to start now. Look at the view here. I consider that the student is in front of this, connecting the name with the image. It talks about input units. This image in front of the student is an interactive image. Any one of these, Dr. Sammy, if he clicks on it, will get the information. Audio, image, video, everything. If he clicks the mouse, the card flips. God, wow, this image came in a group. And here, if the sound is available and the audio is present, okay, if you come here to the keyboard, it starts with you, and here it begins. By the way, if you create a replay, come back in, it could be from here. If he accesses a digital camera, it will start showing you a digital camera. Of course, this would be Sammy's. Here in the replay, the student can look at the cards from the outside and connect that these cards are linked to the input units. And of course, the information is varied. So here in the replay, the student can look at the cards from the outside, connect that these cards are linked to the input units. And of course, the information varies. It links information for each country. Look how it moves. And its movement is beautiful, a wonderful design, and a very nice shape. It provides a great catalog for the information. Of course, you in the College of Medicine, the College of Engineering, and all the colleges can create a catalog for the information so that the student is exposed to the information. I'm done with this part. In this part, I'm clicking on Save and Return, and I'll explain one more thing, but in the interactive section, because we have a lot of tools that we haven't explained yet, I'll click on the main explanation. I don't know why I'm rushing a bit, and then I'll choose the ice painting suite and select the interaction. I'll explain this part to you. I don't know if it's time yet, but God willing, I'll explain it right away. Don't worry. Here, I'm going to go down to something called the hotspot. It's something nice too, guys, but I'm trying to show you things that you might not notice. I'm coming to the hotspot. What is the hotspot? What is the hotspot? Does anyone know it, guys? Hotspots, does anyone know? Does anyone know what a hotspot means? Before I explain it. Okay, let's look at the topic of hotspots, guys. A hotspot is when you sometimes have images from your scientific material and you want the student, for example, to interact with the skeletal structure, the digestive system, or whatever it is, and you want the student to learn from the image itself without us just giving him the information directly. Your scientific material, and you want the student, for example, to interact with the skeletal structure, the digestive system, or whatever it is, and you want the student to learn from the image itself without us just giving him the information directly. Sometimes when you give the student the information directly, I convert the image into hotspots. So points that the student thinks are related to information. For example, in the field of computers, we came and put it to him. Here, for example, I placed I placed for him the unit called the motherboard, and I put a picture of the motherboard. Okay, I placed the picture of the motherboard like this. Boom! I placed it like this from here, and look at the picture of the motherboard. It's beautiful, beautiful. Look what I placed for you. I placed here hotspot 2, and what is this? Well, for example, I'm standing here. This is a hotspot, okay? And this is a secret hotspot. Oh. So, when I sit down, for example, I click on hotspot 1. Where is hotspot 1? Here is hotspot 1, which is a key feature on the interface. I want to talk about the processor or the memory, because these components are crucial for the system's performance and efficiency. So if I pull this, look. What is this? Hotspot 1. It came here, and I placed the hotspot on the spot where you put the RAM. This is the place where you put the RAM here. This is the place where you put the RAM, for example, or in this way. So I can enlarge this area a bit, make it a bit bigger like this, and enlarge it a bit to fit. This is the place where you put the RAMs. There it is. And I tell him that this is the memory. So I'm talking here about the memory. So let me show you the beauty and creativity in this part. I can go here and say, Honestly, I want you to get me some information about the RAM. Just a bit. Give me some information about the RAM. So, RAM or memory, what do we have here, folks? It brought you a picture and some information about RAM. For example, we got this information here like this by doing Control-C, and then I stopped here to paste this information. Or, for instance, I came just to show you this. And of course, you definitely place it like this, and you absolutely want to play it with sound. You want to make sure to play it with sound. You want to play it with sound, folks? Remember now, if you want to play it with sound, press Insert, then click here, then put it right away, and press the word Insert. That's it. No sound, no sound. Okay? If you want to put a picture, it's okay. You can stand here like this. Let's make space for the image. I'm clicking on it here and pressing. And what am I placing? This is the RAM. So, this is the place where you insert RAM. Let me check hotspot 2. I can place it here. You can also replace the image. I can put the processor here from File and put the processor here. I got it from here. I changed the motherboard image. I'll write the processor. So I can place it right here, like this, watch. And I can also change the image that's here. I can change the image here. So I can put the processor here and tell it from File. And then I say, place the processor here. Where's the processor? I got it from here. I can change the image. I changed the motherboard image, but all right, now I want to place it here in the processor area where you put it. So I'll write here, the processor, the device's brain, and I'll get information about the processor from here. I'll say the processor. Watch the creativity now. Let's get any processor info, and then I'll place it here. If you wanted to read it, no problem. So I'll place it in the processor area. I'll write here the processor, the brain of the device, and I'll get information about the processor from here. I'll say the processor. Keep an eye on the creativity that's going to happen now. Now let's get something about the processor. Just grab anything about the processor and then I'll place it here. If you want to read it, no problem. I'll put the image. So I'll go straight to Insert, then Image, and place the processor. I don't want to add more than that. Let's add the third hotspot now. Let's place the third hotspot. For example, there are ports here and there are sound cards and all that. So we can place it on the ports here. A little processor. Bring anything. Bring anything about the processor. Bring anything like this about the processor. And everything else you can think of. Or any other details. I'll put it here. And put it here. And of course, whatever you want, let him read it or anything else related to it, no problem. All right, I won't play the sound here anymore. The important thing is I'm going to put the image, and that's it. So I go straight to Insert, then Image, and place the processor. I don't want to add more than that. Now let's add the third hotspot while we're at it. Let's place the third hotspot. For example, there's something called ports here, and there's something called sound cards and all that. So we can place it on the ports here. I can place it on the ports here like this. This is the port, folks. Ports and a bit smaller, and I'll place it here. Come on, a competitor like this. And I say to the competitor of the device, of course, you can bring a picture of the competitor first. This is a picture of the competitor, and I'll get this image. Using a screenshot, I'll go to Insert, close this space, and get an image of the competitor. Now you can enlarge it a bit. Look at the view, folks. Now you're presenting the lesson to the student. The student goes to the places where the competitor is. What is this? This is the processor. This is the memory. This is what they call discovery learning. This is another way to design content. They call it discovery learning. All right, you can enlarge it a bit like this. Now look at the view, folks. Look at the beauty. Look at the view and the beauty. Here, you're presenting the lesson to the student. You've placed a digestive system, a respiratory system, teeth, a verse from the Quran, and you want to explain it. The student can hover over the word to get information about it. You can place a hotspot on each one. So, what does the student do? The student goes to the places where the competitor is, and they come to this one and say, "What is this?" They stop on it, and it tells them, "This is the processor." What is this? This is the processor. If they stop on this one, it tells them, "This is the memory." If they stop on this one, oh, this is what they call discovery learning. This is a way to present content or design content, folks. This is another way to design content. They call it discovery learning. Not just that. No. If the student wants to see more comprehensive information about what memory actually is, they can click here. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but can you hear the explanation?